yesterday, and also the fact that it is by far the worst map for 9Z. I thought that would have been a no-brainer pick, but we'll see. Inferno might still be a strong showing from 00Nation. The only thing is, they also lost to Plano on this map, so we'll see what they can do as we hop into Inferno, into map 1, and we can get things going here. 00Nation versus 9Z. One spot in the grand final. Loser is eliminated. And it's going to be a banana play. 4 players rushing up here. Lato leading the charge. Max and Buddha to shut it down and try on the flank, but he's expected. Taco, he's already found the first, and he might just get another before the B side can be overwhelmed. Buddha jumping around, caught off guard. Dumao shut out by Max. Still no bomb plant. Try on the prowl up banana. Taco lurking around mid, keeping DGT at bay. But DGT finally gets the entry. Lato might have spotted Max, or at the very least he senses him. He sees him, but tries there for the trade. And things are collapsing for 00Nation.
Couldn't see Max's head. He was tucked in tight. Cold Zera now approaching from CT spawn. Can't find anything. And NQZ has 20 rounds to kill 3. They're parading into the site. They're shutting him down. Max gets the frag. And that is a convincing victory for 9Z. What an awkward round. 00Nation get control of the site immediately. The smoke towards CT, though, was just not perfect. There was a little gap towards the jump up side. And it gave 9Z the opportunity to aim back in and really prevent the actual plant from coming through. 00Nation not comfortable enough to get the plant down in time, and it's led to a very awkward duel, all things considered, and an awkward duel that 9Z are more than happy to take.
Yeah, it's a good start for 9Z. They actually get a lead for the first time in a game in a while. I think they had the lead on Overpass against Oplano. That's the only time they've had an early lead against anybody. We'll see if they can grow that. Not have to come from behind. I think it would be a good thing for them to not have to come from behind, wouldn't you say?
Would. As I mentioned, I don't think coming from behind is going to work on this game against 00Nation. Important to note as well, 00Nation, yeah, it's never reliable, but they somehow do it with consistency.
There are teams that manage to do that. I don't know what it is mentally where they're just like, all right, we're down, time to play.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, 00Nation go for the investment despite the lack of a bomb plant. It's going to be pistols, it's going to be Kevlar, it's going to be a straight pop towards a split of sorts from the apartments, but it's shut down. 9Z thoroughly ready for it. David in the smoke might be the casualty of the round. No, he gets away, and the player towards Arch is not long for the world. The MP9s mop things up, a kill apiece. Make that a kill for each of 3 of the 4 MP9s, and 2 for the M4 of Try. That's a lot of cash farmed up for 9Z. No bomb plant once again, and that means they'll get to harvest even more money with these SMGs. This is the best start that 9Z could ask for. It's going to be 3 effective rounds with SMGs, assuming they get to keep them all up as well in this round number 3. They'll get a very solid bonus going into round number 4. It's looking good for them out the gates.
It's looking real good for 9Z out of the gate, which is very good, especially considering how things started for them yesterday. Taco able to dive into under, will get mowed down by DGT, but DGT takes a ton of damage off of that, and he should not be aggressing further. He should be staying alive here. Don't give anything over to 00Nation. You want to keep it flawless. It would be back-to-back flawless rounds if so, and you do not want to let 00Nation get a bomb plant here. That'll be 3 straight rounds, no bomb plant for the T side. Be a fantastic start for 9Z here on their defense, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to get out to a good start. They need to get to a good finish, and if they can take map 1, Ancient will be a big difference. I mean, Ancient's a completely different map, so a lot of the statistics we have were still played before that Ancient spawn swap. Now, 00Nation, they had an 11-4 lead going to the CT half against Fluxo on Ancient yesterday. They lost 16-14.
Sizable lead squandered. 00Nation just waiting. They're hoping for that MP9 of DGT to press forward even further, but of course he's fallen away. That was the wise call, as you mentioned. Now they'll try to press over towards A, hoping to find an opening. There are 2 players here, though, and DGT, if you want to call him a full player, is here as well. Good thing to start things off, finishing off the player towards the apartment. The second for David. Not quite the third, I should say, but they do close it out. Tech 9 for 1, the MP9s for the rest. That's a lot of cash harvested, and as we mentioned, an important full 5 surviving. But it's not a bonus round that you would expect. We were hoping to see the MP9s that come into the following, but they want to have some bite in this round. Drop to Try.
Still a bonus.
It is still a bonus. They
Because look how
invested
much money
some,
they
yeah.
still have.
I think the MP9 players dropped the rifles, I think is the call.
And they had 2 flawless rounds. They didn't need to buy anything.
Fair. And maybe utility. But it's rather trivial compared to the rifles in the Kevlar. The op is present for Try, as is for NQZ. It's going to be 2 op-centric teams on Inferno. And Lotto finding the opening towards middle. Very well done despite getting dinked. 00Nation finally find themselves with an advantage. The question is, can they actually make it work? It's a full abandonment of the B site. 9Z are going for a hard read, and it's not a hard read to be made.
No.
9Z committing to A, and in the meanwhile, 00Nation are beginning their probe over towards B. This is just, I'm confused. This has to be a hard read. This has to be an anti-strat being called in by 9Z.
They've swallowed the bait, hook, line, and sinker. And now they're going to be punished for it. Nobody here to defend. Tries the closest player in action, and he's behind a smoke. He can't see anything with his op. Max has come through as well. A flash to ward off anybody trying to boost up and over. Bombed the trailer here, so it's very far away. Dumao, as that smoke fades, getting ready to push on through. Taco caught on the cross, but he actually does not fall. Dumao and Cold Zen are taking massive amounts of damage. 3 players in one-shot territory for 00Nation before Try can finally put one down. But the bomb now to the ground and the timer beginning to tick. And 9Z want nothing to do with this. Do they not know the damage they've done?
I don't think they know about the dinks. There was one down all the way at bottom middle. It was done as a flash was thrown, so they probably didn't hear the sound cue. The second one there, they might have heard. But even then, that player was taken out. So they really don't know the damage done, which is unfortunate because they are so very close. And 9Z, I'm scratching my head. I really am. That was a play made with such confidence, such gusto, that they definitely felt like they had the hard read. The hard read wasn't there. It was not an actual read.
That was
very
a gamble.
unfortunate. It was a 4 versus 5, though.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would gamble in that situation. You have the utility, you have the weaponry to hold off a push. You also have the money to afford to lose a couple players if you still want to go for the save. That's just a complete and total waving of the white flag. It's surrender.
I'm confused. Yeah, like I said, it has to be a hard read. This early in the game, going for a gamble when you're down by only 1, when your op could just sit towards coffin, for example, and kind of hold B. That's kind of the strategy you would go for. Yeah, play in dark, something along those lines. That kind of forces you into the site, but it still works. It definitely feels like just the confidence, the gusto they went, the gusto they had going for it really just tells me it has to have been a read, and it was unfortunately a misplaced confidence.
Maybe it was Try like, hey, this is probably the strat, reading his former team, but a classic, you know that I know that I know that you know situation there.
Getting into those own heads in a very big way. Either way, it is a double stack towards the pit. We saw this work to great effect earlier on in day 1, and it has worked thus far. 4 versus 3, another for David, a menace behind the smoke, and tagging down Dumao as well. A combined 22 HP on the 00Nation players, and they have yet to get the bomb plant. The round truly does feel over unless Dumao can do something big here. Just have a one-way. But 9Z are now playing much more passive. They're content with their positions. They're going to try and goad 00Nation into a plant. A lot of this rests on NQZ's shoulders. Mentioned the 1-for-1 trade. 00Nation, they're going to rely on him now. David finally swings, drops the Mao on site. Just NQZ at this point holding for exits. Wants to bring the op into the following. They didn't win 2 rounds in a row, and he will find 1, but he's immediately traded, and the op should be recovered as well. David, maybe? There we go. Does recover it. 9Z, very good start, ensuring that 1 round won by 00Nation is on an island and isolated. That kind of almost completely resets the T-side economy. They will have 1 more buy. It'll be compromised. No utility on at least a couple of players. Looking at Cold Zera. Looking at Taco is a good amount. But Lato on a Mac 10 and Dumao on a Galil. Leaves a lot to be desired.
The Galil is not the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly far from ideal, especially when you have a player on no utility and a Mac 10. 9Z, they've isolated the round for 00Nation. But now they have to do better. They can't start a war of attrition here. The CT economy, especially on a map like on Inferno, you're not going to win that war of attrition. It will ruin you. So they're going to have to win this round again if they want to start something positive, really truly get into the game with something positive going. Good flashbang for the take onto Dumao. And 9Z will not actually full force the issue here. They'll toss a little bit more utility down. Max will tuck into car, but it's not going to be an over-aggression from 9Z. A good balance from what we saw against Oplano from them.
It's a very good balance. I thought Lato was setting up for the anti-flash crossfire kind of thing, kind of play from behind the half wall. Obviously not the case. Now Max. We've seen, I think, Buddha play here before. It's his turn, and he will not fail. Finding one, getting away as well. He is tagged. Will he get through the Molotov? Yes, he will, barely. That leaves Buddha on an island. This is an opportunity. 00Nation could isolate this duel, but only one player is pressing for it. coldzera does win it. Good kill, but still, they have to dig themselves out of this hole further. And Try has rotated around. He's ready to support his teammate Max on the site proper. 20 seconds left. That Molotov's going to do so much. It's so important. It's going to prevent them from crossing into the site. And at this point, do they even go for it? 15 seconds. The bulk of the CT side is here. DGT peeking over the top of the coffin finds one. And yeah, it's going to cement the round. Tag from NQZ, a little bit of a love tap. No, Taco's on the ace. What's happening?
My gosh.
The bomb was all the way over here. Yeah, he was trying to QB sneak.
Philly
Not
special.
too familiar with football, though. Not the American kind.
You're not familiar with any kind.
I'm not.
I am.
It's true.
I would say that's more the Philly special, because QB sneak is more or less expected. Philly special just completely throws everything out of whack. It's won the Eagles Super Bowl back a few years ago, so there you go. USA undefeated in the Super Bowl. You know, no bragging there. Timeout called by 00Nation, though.
Good to see, honestly.
And I think it's a good time for it, agreed, because they've not been able to get really anything off the ground. The one round they won was 9Z being, they're going to go A, guys. Trust. And sure enough, 00Nation had no intention of going A.
It's an awkward time to call a timeout, though. It's an awkward spot for them to be, so it does make sense for them to call it.
They do have
the op of NQZ, but with only 250 in the bank means he's on a double save.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what do you go for?
Force.
It feels like you have to force. Like
Glow
Tech 9's
10,
armor.
5. Yeah.
Someone save a little bit of extra so NQZ can get the op when the rifles come out again. So, you know, that player at 3200, coldzera, maybe just a deagle and go with that.
They're going to be half buy?
Seems like it. Now has a Tech 9.
Down.
Yeah, 1050. It's an awkward situation, to say the least. And you can tell the Tech timeout was not long enough either. They're buying into the round timer itself, into the game. So, taking a minute for 00Nation to get up to speed.
That op from NQZ will have to be something with a lot of impact. 00Nation want to make something out of this round. I mean, the Tech 9s can close a gap, but that's a big pick. David removed by NQZ. That's space and potentially a gun to be recovered for 00Nation. That's going to force some banana aggression out of the 9Z side as well. They're going to go dry in. They do spot out Lato and Taco. Buddha has Max there with him, and he will remove both threats. NQZ now going to go through with that flashbang from Dumao. Gets blinded by it, now creeps up banana, which has been abandoned. Well, not abandoned, but there's been space given. Off angle from Max, just looking for that first man in. He's wide of the sandbags and wide of the flames. No utility to force the peek away as Dumao goes up, or actually boosts up NQZ. I thought that maybe the Deagle would be the one to go up top, give it a little more multi-kill potential, because there were two spotted. And now Dumao has the op and the kill, but at this point, it should be, keyword should, a 9Z round. Ooh.
That was close. That was really close.
Timing.
Very much timing. If he walked a little bit more, or if he had his crosshair a little bit higher, it would have been a good kill. And from there, Pandora's box is really open. Dumao has to rush into A site, though, and EGT's still waiting under the porch. So it's a difficult one no matter what. Op again is being saved, this time by Dumao, as he mentioned. It's a relatively clean enough round for 9Z. They keep 3 players alive, including the op. They have money in the bank. They've been building that throughout the half, so there's no issue reinvesting. And this is a different 9Z from what we've seen, from what we saw yesterday. They looked rather uninspired in their second matchup yesterday against Fluxo. Didn't really get the ball rolling. Slow to wake up. In fact, I would argue they never woke up, honestly, in that second game. They were too tired after the first. And so it's good to see them actually starting things off well. 6-1. And it is going to be a solid investment from 00Nation. AKs across the board, lacking a bit of utility already. NQZ and coldzera, not much left on the belts, but it could definitely work out.
Good flashbang. NQZ can't see anything, but oh, he does catch Buddha on the retreat. Takes a lot of damage, but that's a nice little gift against a former teammate. Good opening kill from NQZ again, but this time there's rifles behind that buy. David, however, trying to take space elsewhere on the map, over towards apartments. But he thinks better of going through that smoke, backs away. coldzera watching for a boiler peek. Dumau probing towards B. No real commitment from 00Nation, but they have, at the very least, got that opener. Still a bit of utility to go. And now they're going to get ready to go for this A take with a decent amount of time on the clock. That's something we saw several of the teams yesterday do. In fact, all three of the teams that we saw, 9Z, Oplano, and Fluxo, take sites with very little time, very little margin for error. Try blind again, backs out. Brackets control taken, counter utility coming through. With 33 on the clock. A lot of this comes down to the arch play from Max. He gets spotted, but he gets the job done. Taco falls in the meanwhile. David around the hay cart. Might just get the spot on the Lato as well. He goes up, goes down, and he just barely misses on that retreat.
Fall away, 50 seconds left, and at this point,
saving?
00Nation might have to save, or they might have to go for an apartments pop. No, it's going to be a save. This is now 3 saves in a row. 2 ops being saved in the 2 rounds prior, and then now 3 players surviving with their rifles. It feels like 00Nation, they have an idea, and then they're deterred from it very quickly. They don't outright commit, which it can be good, but when you have 30 seconds left, at that point, you kind of have to commit. At this point, you're so far in the hole, you have to kind of just take the risk.
Yep.
Down 1-7 on your map pick. 9Z are looking good. Talking about Buddha, who's a player who very much struggled yesterday. He struggled in the last 3 months. He's actually more than carrying his weight right now. David, also a shining star for the team. I don't think he was too present yesterday. It was mainly the DGT and Tri-Train. So it's a worrying sign of things to come for 00Nation. It looks like the pain train's only just beginning. 9Z, let's try. Op posted towards middle, looking towards alt mid, waiting for Taco. No, here's the apartment scout, has to fall away instead.
Good awareness.
Most when you never say is welcome.
It just, nothing's working for 00Nation right now. The right call, the Malta, the flash goes over. Max still wins the fight. He dodges the flashbang and he flips around at the right moment to catch off Dumau, who has not been able to get anything going. Realistically speaking, nobody on 00Nation's been able to get going except for NQZ. He's finding opening picks for his team, but they can't do anything off of it.
Seems like NQZ knows how to read his own team, but he didn't translate that to his team, to his own new squad, 00Nation. They really just don't have the bead on what 9Z are trying to do. Try towards the archway here. Jump spot comes in, but he won't be punished. He'll take the shot. He'll fall away. Still a decent amount of time as well. 40 seconds left. 00Nation have brackets control. DGT this time around is the one holding arch, looking for this T-side aggression. Tries here as well. Good flash and good kill for Try. Good team play from 9Z to make 00Nation feel uncomfortable.
Very good team play here, but they're going to have to do a little bit more to get this one done. Max goes down the Lato. And DGT equalizes that one back. 2v4. 00Nation, no time on the clock, running in. Buddha gets one almost a second, but coldzera fights for his pair. Try shuts him down. The legend, the living legend, cannot pull it back for his squad. And the money on 9Z is so good. I don't know what 00Nation can do. It's not even timeout territory because they don't have they don't have the money. They've also saved 2-3 rounds in a row. They're playing CT side Inferno on the T side.
The fact that Try has 11K in the bank on a CT side, no less, really highlights how one-sided this has been thus far. It's been absolutely disgusting from 9Z. These rounds haven't been competitive. You know, normally when the CT side are winning rounds, it can still be kind of close on the brink in terms of economy because the damage is being done, but the damage simply isn't. 00Nation. kind of stuck at a loss at this point. They will at long last have the opportunity to buy again, but do they go for the pause? That's the question. It feels like it's territory to do so. Yes, they do.
They have to. And it really does seem like a situation where 00Nation are putting themselves well behind the 8 ball. I don't know necessarily if there is something else they can do. The money seems to be indomitable for 9Z. They've just allowed DGT to get his head into the game. That was a DGT eco farm. You know what eco frags do to a player's confidence? Makes it skyrocket. That's free kills, free stat padding. DGT just about doubles his kills in 1 round. Tries 8-1, by the way. And 9Z have actually just used a tactical timeout as well. 00Nation called the first one. 9Z used the next. I gotta wonder if this is a bathroom break. Because I don't know why they would call it timeout after that.
I'm gonna call it psychological warfare.
You're calling it PSYOP territory?
It's 9-1. It's PSYOP territory, 100%. Everybody's feeling good, feeling jovial. Someone has to finish their riff. 2 tags.
This is 100% a bathroom break.
This is 100% a bathroom. Okay, never mind.
This is 100% a bathroom break. There's no other explanation for it.
Heavy investment.
Yeah.
Heavy investment. And that makes me worried because we know 9Z have run out of timeouts in the past when the going gets tough.
Yes.
So they only have 2 timeouts of 4 remaining. If it gets tough on the T side, or if it gets tough here in the later stages of the CT side. So we'll have to see if that comes to bite them. Either way, the 3rd one's not being called.
Which is good. 2 is still
good.
A heavy investment.
It is a heavy investment, but you know what? Things are still looking good. They have a lot of money in the bank. 00Nation, what is the buy for them? Demao should be buying an AK, armor, and utility. Yes, he does. It's a good buy once again for 00Nation, but they've yet to show us anything exciting. They're playing with too much reverence. They're playing scared, I think is the best way to put it. And I think it's just 9Z really disrupting their plays. Again, it feels like NQZ has the read on his former teammates, but he didn't tell 00Nation, the rest of his new team, how to counter them.
Yeah, and the players you look to be the heavy hitters, Demao and Lato, are not doing that here on 00Nation. coldzera and Taco, more or less veteran presences. coldzera, though, having a big impact in this round with that entry. Good flashbang to blind him. David caught out in Boiler. Try at the very least able to get away. That's still good for 9Z. They have their Opper up and alive. And a B-heavy lean from 9Z. They're doing another hard read, Nate. I'm scared because the last time they tried it, it did not work out at all.
They're already second guessing it. They're not nearly as confident this time around. That smoke kind of
good
gives away the play. If Try can get to library in time, they might be able to stop this take outright. DGT and Pit, though, has to do a lot. He has a smoke, he has a Molotov, he has a flash. Taco and Arch is going to be incredibly important. Demao, the smoke drops Try, though. That's a big one to find over towards the library. Buddha is there to support, though. All 3 remaining players of the CT side are here. Max drops Taco. Good one to find, but still many more continuing to pressure. This time from the truck side. coldzera in the apartment still lurking. 3 remaining over towards the brackets. NQZ on the op. Hold for Max's peak. Good kill. DGT in the pit. Finds a good trade in response, but the numbers are just in favor of 00Nation. NQZ on the side entering in with the op. Finds 1, and the player in pit is bullied in. Stuck in. 3 angles to worry about, and he cannot hold it down. coldzera, 1 heater of a round, finding 3. And you love to see that. Actually, 2, excuse me. You love to see that. The veterans from 00Nation beginning to wake up, and that could rally the squad around them.
Definitely. And if there's a player or 2 you want to step up, one of them was going to have to be coldzera. Being a rallying point potentially for 00Nation. Getting the first and last kill of the round. But 9Z more than enough to buy, although they're starting to come to the end of their own bank accounts, so they're not out of the danger zone just yet. Not quite on the highway to the danger zone. Try takes a peek towards ult. Gets out of there alive. I don't think Try's hit a single shot where he's been blinded over the course of these now 3 series. It always seems that when he gets blind, he doesn't hit the shot. You know, some guys will be able to get 1 shot, maybe a tag every so often in every map with the op and they get flashed off. Try just doesn't seem to be able to hit those. And Max can't hit anything when he can't see a thing.
Yeah, similar situation for him. The main issue for the angles that Try's holding is the players aren't shoulder peeking it. They're throwing the flash to blind the player if they're aggressive. but it's like a slim chance that they're actually being aggressive. Like, how often does Try go for that peek? It's been relatively often in this series thus far, but it's because it hasn't been expected. Now that he's given away his position, he's shot. Probably not going to go for it again. Taco just running up the arch, though, in this one. That is a huge one to find. Try taking down 2 players of the 5 now dispatched for 9Z. DGT has his work cut out for him here towards the arch. The nade doesn't do much damage, doesn't even delay them. 00Nation have found a winning recipe over towards the brackets, exploiting that arch position now 2 rounds in a row. And this time doing another alternate spin off of it. They're going to go towards B instead. Buddha. 3 versus 5, but he's the one alone on this side. His rotation is slowly coming in. His support in DGT is coming through. Question is, how much can he do? He's found one. Flashed away, though. Bullied away. Taco jump spotting. Gets the information. And instead of peeking, just going to go for the plant. Lato jumping on his teammate's head. Oh, this is such a nice peek. It's still Buddha, though. He's ready for it. Gets the kill. Takes some damage, sure, but he's made this a 3 versus 3. He's made this retake feasible.
This is reasonable. This is really reasonable. This is a very viable situation now because of what Buddha has done. But with that extra teammate falling, it almost becomes impossible. Oh, no. Buddha removed by coldzera. And David, what's he going to be able to do? Save, it seems. And yeah.
The op is there. But now we have to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. The ugly truth. 9Z have to smell the roses. The economy they've built, the empire they've built has been sucked away by a recession. Is that too real? Probably.
Yeah, man, come on. This is an escape from reality.
This is an escape. Sorry. Try has money in the bank, sure. But in Buddha, I believe Max as well feeling the pain. They'll get dropped some rifles, sure, but Buddha's wallet going to be dipped into. Tries at 550 now. He's at 9K at the start of this round. Like, everything is gone at this point. 9Z. If they don't put their foot down here, it's a very, very well-paved road for 00Nation to come back into it.
Ooh, there he goes. I say Try hasn't hit a single shot while blind. He gets the leg shot. There we go.
Half measure, not a full kill, unfortunately.
It's still damage. It's better than every other shot he's had blind so far.
They don't know he's damaged.
But a nade could take him out very easily.
It's true. It's true. Some more unconfirmed damage could do it. Body shot rather than headshot. It is helpful, but it's not as helpful as you would think. Remember that 3 versus 4 they chose to save in when 3 players were tagged by unconfirmed damage?
Yep.
It's haunting. It's haunting to think of that, but it's true.
It's good to see the individuals across the board for 9Z actually being able to do some damage, though. It seemed yesterday, at the very least, they had a lot of rust. They weren't really all there. Here right now, they're looking a lot more competent individually, which is always going to be a big help to your team's overall success rate. It's not just the DGT show, it's not just the Try show. Everybody within 4 kills, which is incredible. 2 players at 11. Meanwhile, it's NQZ and now coldzera in the last few rounds that have really got things going for 00Nation. But they're going for another very slow take with not much map control, Nate.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. Bomb is
I'm worried.
Waffling between the two. It feels like 00Nation to back up to their usual antics.
Mm-hmm.
When they don't have the opening, they don't have a clear direction. I think that's the main issue. I think that's the crux of the issue, in fact.
And
they can find those openings. It's very different, yeah. I think the opening gives them the confidence. We'll have to keep note of that in the later stages of this first half, but as it stands, it's going to be more than likely a 9Z round. Bomb is here, though. Jake is coming through. On the side, NQZ, a big opening to start things off. It's a collapse. 8 seconds left. Will they get the bomb down? They're going for it. coldzera and NQZ hold things down, get the kills, get the entries. And it looks like in this case, the last second wait, the waffling between the two sides will be enough for them to get it. 9Z, 2 players alive. They're going to save it. It's Try and Max, the op and the M4. No utility to save, but they have Kevlar. They have kits, or a kit, I should say. It's more than worth saving in this case. 00Nation. An explosive play that finally does pay off.
They are able to get it done in the end. That was still cutting it very close. 2 seconds on the clock as the bomb goes down. They were 2 seconds away from losing the round of time. That's not a great sign. Not a great sign at all. Still, they've clawed it back to 4 rounds. If they can get to 6, cool. Solid T half on Inferno. Earlier speculations can go out the window. But this buy here, Nate, it's just pistols around the rifles. 9Z, they're going to fold here, technically. We'll see.
He's on just straight utility.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got dropped as well. He didn't spend anything. The call aggression towards Banana. All 5 players present.
Oh, no.
Spearhead. Oh, no. Try doesn't pull the trigger. He will eventually. Not get exploited fully. Will get away as well, but imagine if he had time to rechamber. He could have found even a second, I dare say. A straight rush in towards B. Try. Flash doesn't go for the kill. Buddha does find one. Buddha finds 2 on the USB. He is the hero of the round, to say the least. He gives him a real fighting chance. Max has a rifle in hand. That op is recoverable as well towards the coffins. And Max is going to hero play. If he hero plays and doesn't get the timing right, this could completely undo the round, but he gets the timing. He's into the water. Is he ready for NQZ? No, he's not. His former teammate takes him down. Cold Zera holding the op. Now Puppy guarding it. Ensures that the final 2 players only have pistols. The first goes down without a fight. DGT 1v2, T250 in hand, and an op to unseat and an AK as well. At this point, he's going for exits, and maybe he'll run in and rat around for that op after the bomb goes off. But actually, he might fall here with the new bomb radius.
He's definitely dead.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a human dozier, Nid.
Not working.
No. I like the idea, but at the same time, the money's so good for 00Nation, but he also has nothing to lose, so I guess might as well. 9-5. 9-6 again. Respectable scoreline for 00Nation. And quite a fall off for 9Z, who had all the potential in the world to completely dominate this half and make it look like it was just going to be a formality when it comes to Ancient. Try going to go back with middle pushes. DGT going all the way down. He spots a lot, though. Hits the dink, but the AK's one shot. Going to win that time if you both hit headshots. Well, AK has your number. Jump spot over wall. Buddha's got to be careful not to get caught off as Molly does land and force a player away. But 9Z a little shaken, a little rattled here. And 00Nation in a great spot to try and get this up to a 9-6 scoreline going into half 2.
Very good spot to do so. 9Z, though, you have to say, at least they're still playing their game. They're not looking too scared. Pressuring down middle from DGT. I like the call, I like the gusto to go for it, but he's punished. Aggression towards Banana. 2 players fall away and only 1 stays. This is very risky, Buddha.
It's 4v4. Cold Zera out towards A. Bomb might be rotating that direction. But Buddha's still up towards car. Slow and steady round on the finish here from 00Nation. A 3-stack A. Flash middle. Lato backs up Max, or rather Taco, who gets dinked down by Max, but he can't get the kill. And now they sprint into Buddha's hand. Dodges the flashbang, but still shotgun opt by Lato. 2v4 on the retake for 9Z. There's no saving now. 00Nation clawing their way back in. They can't lose a gunfight. And Try just walks right through the smoke into the waiting arms of NQZ. David 1v4. I don't think he's got it. Smoke will go a little bit too deep and he'll go around. NQZ will get the fade and 9-6. Nice recovery from 00Nation as we head to the half. Apologies for the issues, folks, but we are able to get back into this here. We have a couple of kills going the way of 9Z. In fact, a bomb plan coming through. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the call right now as we hustle our way back into Inferno. It was a 9-6 lead for 9Z, but it could have been so much more for the Argentine mix. 00Nation really bringing it back. coldzera, a huge catalyst in that run. NQZ been great for them overall. Lato showing up in the late points. Taco has the kit. NQZ coming in through CT. Former 9Z man trying to get the headshots. He needs to get on through, but Taco has Max first. Taco and NQZ swinging towards Banana, but DGT has the big kill that seals the round. NQZ pushing out Buddha with the kill, and double digits for 9Z. Both pistol rounds going the 9Z direction. That's a big start for them, and a timeout called. Technical timeout here. Should be back into the game momentarily. Woo!
Wish we could have that tech pause before the pistol round.
Yeah.
Would have been mighty convenient, but hey, here we are. No worries. We still got to see most of the action. Got to see the consequential parts, right? And I want to highlight as well, with the time, 9 kills for Max is the lowest for his team, and he still has 88 ADR. He's doing the lifting still.
Well, Buddha has the lowest ADR. Actually, no, David has the lowest ADR.
David does. And even then, it's still 62. It's still fine, right? Still good for 9Z. The main thing I want to highlight is 9 kills is the bottom, and that is above 3/5 of the players on 00Nation. That should really paint a picture. We talked about 9Z yesterday. They had some stars showing up. They also had some glaring issues. I think in that last map yesterday versus Fluxo, Buddha had like, I think 3 kills at the half, maybe even 1 kill at the half. Something ridiculously poor, I hate to say. The fact that he's 11 now, and everybody as well is finding the kills necessary, bodes incredibly well for 9Z. It feels like they just woke up on the wrong side of the bed yesterday, and they're showing up anew now. This is definitely the opposite of what we expected coming into this.
It is definitely the opposite of what we expected coming into this, and it's a good thing for 9Z that they're actually starting to have success again, like this, as a team. Now, it doesn't bode too well for 00Nation, does it? Quite the opposite, I would say. But in the end, this is still map 1 of potentially 3. There's still a long way to go. And 00Nation have shown they can find a way back into games. They've done a very good job of clawing back in. We'll see if they can do it again.
This is where the stars can wake up. Sid DeMao was a star. He definitely is, as is a lot, though. Everybody on 00Nation capable of individual performances, they're just not pulling them off right now. Hopefully the CT side can be the catalyst for such a play. But as it stands, it looks like a 9Z game. My major question, for 00Nation is, will they invest? In the last half, they lost pistol round. They didn't even get the bomb plant, and they bought Tech-9's armor anyway. So we see buys at this kind of economy much more often on the CT side rather than the T side. So given the fact they even went for it on the T side, makes me think they might go for it now.
A win here gets them to 7, but a loss will probably get 9Z to 12. That's the only problem. And 12-6 is not the easiest comeback to make work.
We've seen bigger comebacks from 9Z, but again, that's what 9Z are known for. So it's apples to oranges. It's not something they can rely. It's not something anybody can reliably pull off. But if there's a team that you want in that situation, if you had to pick one, it should be 9Z.
Yeah, 9Z, they just like comeback situations. They're like, all right, we're down by like 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds.
That's all. Turn on the monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. Turn on the monitor. Sit up. No more JDM Lounge Nation. Make sure the mouse is plugged in.
Energy drink, plug everything in. Actually turn on the team comms.
Yeah, actually talk. Stop playing with your wrong hand.
Yeah, playing left-handed.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Woxic actually plays left-handed.
I will say, if I got to play left-handed, if I was raised using my mouse in my left hand, I think I could go pro. I'll say it. As a lefty,
only if you opt
computer right-handed.
No scopes only.
Oh, I mean, I could do that now going pro. I'm the best no scoper around. I'll say it. Challenge me.
It's not like you don't already.
It's true. I challenge myself, and much to the anger of my own team, I must say, it is going to be an investment as well.
No scope your own team and kill them.
That was one of the clips of all time.
That was a moment.
00Nation do go for the investment as well. 2 deagles, not CZ, 5-7, excuse me. That's a very potent weapon. It's had a lot of impact in the last couple of days. And FAMAS and UMP, FAMAS good for 1, immediately answered though, and those dropped rifles are not recoverable. The FAMAS, and I believe it might have been an AK drop by Max or another weapon either way, a primary, not recoverable either towards Banana. A lot to one side now. The Deagle has to do a lot. Good shot on the first, almost the second. DGT, nice stutter step to stay alive. coldzera behind the smoke though. Good front of timing with the 5-7. Oh, he's thinking about it. The smoke. He tells him to look away, and he's got spotted. Did he get spotted? I think it might have just been a random spam. If he got spotted, he would have been taken down, I'm sure.
I don't know. That was a laser spray, so. Either way. I don't see a reason to go for this if you're 00Nation. Save your armor, save your 5-7, and save your UMP.
Maybe coldzera going for a gun. That's the only thing, because he doesn't have armor. He must have
True,
dropped a
but he
rifle
could
to
also
his teammate.
He could also toss that 5-7 over to somebody else and get another one and have another chance to do damage in the next round.
He's gonna have like 2K in the bank, maybe a little over.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's 1900 loss.
Yeah.
Wait, no. It's gonna be 2400.
2400.
Yeah.
If he buys another 5, I can drop a P250 then. But it'll be close. They really want utility on the ZD side, so. I think he should be more inclined to save, is what I'll say.
Yes. There's no reason to lose that gun. Every reason to keep it into this next round. Especially the fact it's a 5-7. Sit in the corner, hit a headshot. Cool. Free gun. That's all you need. But this is the territory where I was postulating, hey, okay, you buy here, but you lose, it should give 9Z a 12th. And that's where you put yourself into trouble. You lose that gun round, 14-6. That is not an easy scoreline to come back from.
Certainly not. And if that is the reality we're facing, it could be a very quick end. Aggression down Banana. I like the idea from 00Nation. Try to use their numbers, but they actually don't mob. Only 2 players going forward, and they're very separated. Less than ideal for the USPs. NQZ, Taco, and coldzera. All 3 here. They have an opportunity, would be now to do some damage. Good shot from NQZ. Try, good trade. Try doubling down. There's the 5-7 popping in for a frag. Some good damage, but AK recovered. They lose a Galil. They lose, I think, another maybe Galil, maybe Mac 10. I think it was a Mac 10 jumping up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, damage relatively inconsequential. It just makes their bonus round a little bit more scary, and it gives them a little bit of extra, a little bit of less cash, I will say, but they still have more than enough to buy in the following. So, you know, good situation for 9Z.
Yeah, it's not a bad situation. They won't have a full buy in the next round if they lose this one, because only 1400 loss bonus, so they'll be on a 3400. I mean, you could
have a Galil on David and maybe a Galil on Max. So I think for the most part they will get an investment.
Ooh, what a lot though. Just dry swings top car. He gets punished. Good start for DGT.
Oh!
NQZ, hello?
Taco's
got 2, but what are these picks? What are these peaks?
I like the call. I've seen apartments play, I think Sigsy, several seasons ago in NA, was notorious for that kind of play. Go down the apartments with the op, get an opening. But it's a risky play.
But he was scoped in the whole time, though.
Yeah, he was scoped in, and he was too aggressive on the angles. The player just completely blindsided him, was caught right in the blind spot. Then
they just missed the sight molly.
Yep. And that should cut ties with the round, yep. No kits as well on these players. There might have been one on the field. I'm not sure.
I don't remember seeing one.
I didn't check. I know we normally do. That's most unfortunate. It's going to be 13-6, excuse me, for 9Z. And with only 2 rifles surviving, 00Nation might be more inclined to save rather than to invest in the following. They don't even get the op either. The op was dropped in apartments. It's now in David's hands. It's going to go to try in the following. It's looking like 9Z are going to take this one rather quickly as well.
9Z getting on the fast track to victory. 00Nation could force buy around their 2 saved guns. Dumao and coldzera could both drop M4A1s or M4s in general, because looks like Dumao uses the A4. And that will be the call here. Drop the guns around, get utility behind it. FAMAS on Taco. There is 1 kit on Lato. NQZ could have bought a kit and probably should buy a kit, but if it comes down to NQZ not having a kit and they lose the round, well, there you go. That's why. But the op in the hands of Try, Max and Co. firing on all cylinders. The AK's getting control of angles. And no early picks for either side. I still have to favor 9Z in the situation because of how well they've been playing throughout the course of this map so far.
It was incredibly good. Again, a whole new look from this team. Talking about it yesterday, sure they had a monstrous comeback, very good against Oplano. It isn't going to cut it, rather, against teams like Fluxo and 00Nation. So the fact they get out the gate sprinting, they start things off well, and they don't really let off the gas either. Sure, a disappointing end to the first half, but here in the second, they're showing us good fundamental Counter-Strike, playing together, hitting their shots. That's exactly what you want to see. Cold Zero, good timing, not even that. Try holding for his teammate, finds the kill. Nothing going the way of 00Nation. Taco and NQZ on this Crossfire have to come in huge. They can't find more than 3. I think it might be done. Good swing from Taco. Not a second, though. Max underneath finds a trade. NQZ behind the pillar might survive, but Demao, does he expect the player tucked in the corner? Doesn't seem like it. Shoulder spotted for NQZ. Max takes him down, and Demao doesn't even think about walking out now. He's already walking away instead. A4s are going to try to be saved, but David's already hunting. He might even blindside one. Demao timing everything in his favor for that one. He'll survive for a little bit longer, but 9Z dropping rifles isn't too important at this point. Not if they can keep this success going. 14-6 is going to be the score. Only 2 rounds separating them from victory, and a commanding victory at that on 00Nation's map pick.
This is definitely a commanding lead. If they can finish it 16-6, I don't know if there's going to be any momentum in the world that can save 00Nation on Ancient. And just another question, like, what side do 00Nation start on Ancient? If they start on T side, closing it out on CT is going to be incredibly difficult for them. And, okay, 00Nation does start on the T side of Ancient. Which, understandable, but at the same time, you probably want to finish on T to close it out, because that's where you're going to have all the favorability. We'll see. Timeout called by 00Nation here on Inferno. We haven't got to Ancient just yet. This map, though, is looking like one of the circles of Dante's Inferno for 00Nation. They picked it, and I called into question. They could have picked Mirage. They could have picked Mirage.
I do want to highlight as well, looking at the Ancient stats, because we've been talking about it. 9Z have taken down some pretty fearsome opponents. Looking at, like, Fluxo, team waiting in the grand final, have lost to 9Z on that map. I believe that was pre-update. We mentioned that because they have not played at all recently, except for their best of 3 versus 9. That was at CCT. But still, it's a map that they're very confident on, and so 00Nation, you hate to see them rely on that to stay alive in this series. Hopefully they can put their foot down now. No op, though. Rifles across the board. They do have kits, also. Make sure to check for those. 9Z. Do they have a different strategy here? Do they change things up? Nope, but 00Nation will. Boosts up on the porch.
Brackets pop, 3 stacked towards porch, only 1 kill for 9Z as it gets demolished. This brackets play just obliterated by the triple stack over on the porches. Taco jumps up top. Buddha has to have heard that, but there's an angle on him. Taco sprays away, chases him back. Try and Buddha gonna try and get their way in, but utility raining through. A smoke to save NQZ, and just nothing working here for 9Z in this round. All left to try, and 00Nation off the back of the timeout shut down the brackets pop. Magnificent work. If I'm Try, I'm getting rid of this op. I'm not giving a free op to 00Nation.
00Nation, though, aren't going to hunt. There's no shot they go for the hunt. Oh, I say that. Demao's already in the apartments. It's risky to go for it with how low they are in terms of economy. 350 for NQZ in the bank, 350 for Demao as well, only 50 for Lotto. Like, every kill right now from Try is incredibly consequential. So the fact they're giving him the opportunity, either A, speaks to their confidence, or B, speaks to their foolhardiness.
Five seconds plus stoppage time for Try to stay alive. And I think he will. Timer will expire in a minute. And yep, the op stays alive out of the hands of 00Nation. That's very important. That does a lot to bolster The chances for 9Z, not only do they keep the op, which that is debatable whether or not you actually need it on the T side of Inferno, but more importantly, it eliminates that possibility for 00Nation.
It does. Another crack at it. The economy of 9Z is surprisingly close to being broken as well. Scarily close. If they lose this round without getting a bomb plant, especially, it's going to push Try's bank to the limit. Only 6K in the bank with essentially 2 or 3 players that really can't afford to buy. Going to be rough. Another potential opportunity for 00Nation to come back into it if that's the case. Double stack on the balcony as well. This is interesting. 00Nation, I'm liking the setups. I like the change in strategy they're going for.
That's a good double from Taco up on the balcony, but Try and Max have even the scoreline. Cold up on Balk, though. Do they expect the second man? Oh, wait, Try checks it, and he wins the fight. 180 flicker around, Try with the op. And I guess Try needs the op on T side Inferno, because that's a brilliant opener. That's the site controlled and should be 15 on the board for 9Z. DGT could get dropped on by Dumao, though, if he's not careful, but DGT has the read. Dumao creeps up. Headshot delivered. Cranial cave in for Dumao. And Lato, what can he do? Last man standing on the 00Nation side. I don't think there's much he can realistically do here. Nate saving is probably his best option, so he can drop an extra gun, get some extra utility on a teammate. 9Z have got map point on map 1.
Comfortable 8 rounds to find a 16th as well. Very good for 9Z.
Did Lato make it up there?
Looks like he did eventually. Try again. But I love the change in strategy.
He's on 9Z.
Oh. Fortunate. Up for Try. Buddha should be able to get a gun as well. Dropped over by somebody. There we go. And 9Z. 8 rounds. 00Nation, again, changing up the strategy. It's what you want to see. Something different. 4 stack towards B, though. Reeks of desperation.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it was an early nade stack B? Maybe? I don't get it. They 4-stack B, and 20 seconds into the round, they fade away from it and go back to a standard 3-2 setup. Were they just ready for a B rush? Was that the call?
Maybe. I don't know, honestly. Have the forces there in case it was a fast B play, and then rotate back around. Cover every possibility, maybe.
9Z have been more apt for a fast A play, though.
They've been leaning far more heavily over towards A. And 00Nation setups towards A as well have worked out incredibly well. Specifically that porch setup. Rackets the control, they'll take him with just 1 smoke. So easily taken. And the player towards Graveyard is going to be mollied out. coldzera has to do everything in the apartments. Taco actually covers him, and that might actually give coldzera the surprise opportunity here. Taco burns, but survives, and there we go. coldzera activates. Only 1, though. Try with the op and the P250. A double. Back to a 3 versus 3. NQZ does clap back for 1 from the Cubby, sure, but 9Z, this positioning is so good for DGT. Finds 1, finds 2, not quite. Dumao finds the trade, and it leaves us Try with the op. 1v2, but they're both in the same spot. He gets spotted, though. Jumping into small pit. Can he do it? Swing comes in. Good shot on the first spot. The second as well. Missed shot from NQZ. Tagged by Try. NQZ will make the most out of that. Does recover it. Does keep 00Nation alive with the defuse. But the money for the CT side is in shambles. Only 1 player survives. And it definitely feels like they're not long for this world at this point.
Yeah, that's a narrow escape from defeat. coldzera, or rather NQZ, lucky to even get out of that fight alive after getting tagged. Try almost had that. DGT probably should have had more than 1 there, but still. 00Nation can count that off as a blessing. Nothing short of a gift. 7 more required for overtime. And their money's still not great. 9Z can look to finish this one out. 3-2 setup again from 00Nation as they set up for this. 9Z more on that bottom mid heavy default now. A little bit of Apps control. Apps has been giving him some trouble, particularly Taco, who actually has eclipsed Coldzera's kill count with 14. Taco been one of the heaviest hitters for this side on the CT side, but that's not saying too much. 2 players still below the 10K mark. Meanwhile, everybody on 9Z well above. DGT 20 and 10. Try 19 and 8. It's a pretty big performance from the individuals on 9Z, and they're getting ready for this B pop. Lato, Dumao, both anti-flash. And no actual pop from 9-0. They just try to bait out the utility of the CT side because they have the time.
Maybe playing mind games again. Going back to that. Back and forth. A fake smoke towards Speedway on A. Draws out utility from the CT side. But no rotations. Still 2 players present. Dumao and Lato, though, have no stall utility. Just 1 smoke. Lato drops it as the smoke towards CT is thrown. He'll get in front of it. But can he stop the onslaught? Dumao is here as well. Good crossfire, 1 apiece, and these other 3 players have not come through the smoke yet. Here they'll come. Dumao's waiting with open arms. The push and then stall and then push again if it really doesn't matter. If they keep pushing through to try to brute force it, it could be different. But the allowance of the spray reset to the reload as well does 9Z in. 10 seconds left. They're going to save. No doubt in my mind. DGT holding for some aggression. Try. Far more important with the big green is going to fall all the way towards the apartments. It's going to be a 9th for 00Nation, and I do like that aggressive setup from the 2 A1Ss on B.
Why would you just rush the smoke? You have 25 seconds to go. The smoke's fade in about another 5. You could just wait it out and go in, not going in blind. Many questionable decisions in that round for 9Z. Almost seem like they want to rush the end here. They want to rush to the finish line, but what does haste make, Nate? Haste makes waste.
Okay. And the new op once again for try. Love to see it.
Duality, I believe.
It is the duality.
It's a really nice skin.
For duality. I still love it.
I want one.
The doodle lore, when I looked into it again, do like it a lot. It looks pretty good, but I do like the duality. It's classic skin, classy skin, I should say, a little bit more. Back and forth, though. Scrappy played towards middle. NQZ does trade things back. He's in the apartments with the op, though. This is a very difficult spot to be. He does have support from Dumao, though. Towards middle. Dumao can clear out this close boiler area. Walk in. Spots the op. Good shot. Try misses. And still plenty of time to work with, but with only 2 players, 9Z are kind of stuck in a very awkward spot. Max will plant open for the arches, and with an opportunity for Lato, but he doesn't press the issue. Max stuck between a rock and a hard place in a very literal way. We'll just have to slink into the back of sight. DGT with the AK will try to hold for the balcony press. He's being pressured by Lato. This kill means everything. Lato doesn't get the shot. DGT does. And NQZ and Dumao now have to try to pressure out of the balcony. Good shot from NQZ. DGT on the flank. He should be expected. The question is, can he delay for long enough? The bomb's not planted for him. It's planted on the other side of the default box. No chance in this one. It's going to be a 10th for 00Nation, and DGT does himself in with that unorthodox plant.
Yeah, that's a weird plan for 9Z, and it costs DGT. He honestly could have rotated around arches and would have won the round, and they wouldn't have expected it. So, just one of those things. Have to be aware where the bomb plant is too. But how many times do you see a bomb plant on the other side of the box like that? Never. It's either like a back corner plant, under cold box plant, or default plant for pit.
The desperation plant for sure.
Yeah.
And you could tell it didn't really factor into his mind. He was trying to play off his teammate. As soon as he committed to that flank, his teammate falls.
He could have also used the molly though. He could have thrown the molly towards Hay in that sort of like jump out area and could have stalled everything.
2020. Hindsight's 2020.
Yes, it is. But I wanted to see him use the Molotov. And NQZ just wants to see white because he's got 2 kills with the op and he's barely only seen a player. Try's got an op though. He's got armor. He can do damage.
Good, but with so many players just posted on every angle, every aggressive angle, I should say. Seems near impossible. It's a box. Look at the map. 4 players in this rectangle just holding. 2 players are like fish in a barrel at this point. Dumao slowly inching forward. Makes it a trapezoid instead. Timing's everything here. He could get shot on the side. Oh, he's spotted. Now things get more interesting. Taken down from behind. David finds that.
He's got armor.
Got armor and a rifle now. This is where things get awkward. This is where things get interesting. Timing plays a far more important role. 9Z can go towards B. They can go towards A as well. And they begin a lot of credence over towards B. Spot will come in from Lato, but Honestly, they could also go back towards brackets, take down Coldzera. It's a bunch of 1v1s that are being given by 00Nation. This is exactly what 9Z need to win around like this.
00Nation are gambling. They're gambling on the B play. They're gambling on a mid rotation. And now Try's been spotted. They know where Taco is. His Molotov's too late. David up on top. Taco goes down. That's the sight. Coldzera catches the bomb, though. 20 seconds on the clock. David 1v2. Molotov will fade, but he's making all the noise in the world. Coldzera has to know where he's coming from. Gun barrel shows. David wins the duel. 10 seconds to cross. 10 seconds to plant. And he gets caught by Lato on the cross. Wide open in brackets. Feel like that's a knife out run there, David. You don't have time. 00Nation survive again. Time out 9Z. Good call here. You have money again. You can buy up. They've been doing a ton of economic damage, but they just haven't been able to win a round and close this one out. It was 15 to 8, I want to say. 15-7?
They had 8 rounds to win it, so 15-7.
Yeah.
4 rounds in a row for 00Nation. They're doing their best 9Z impression. Scoreboard. It is kind of even at this point. It's really beginning to even up. 20 kills for NQZ, 22 for DGT. It is too little too late, potentially. But 4 rounds in a row, if they get to 4 more, which they've already done, they've proven they can win 4 in a row. Multiple times. They've won 5 in a row in the first half at the very end. They've won 4 in a row now. This is definitely feasible. And given the fact that 9's economy keeps on floundering as it has, they've been on half buys and compromised buys, it actually might seem closer than you would expect. Either way, it's going to be AKs across the board here. Round number 27. 00Nation do have an op as well for NQZ. No utility, though. Look at the utility left. There has to be some drops somewhere. There has to be some smokes on the floor for like a B hold. But with over a minute 25, there has to be more than 1 smoke and 1 Molotov remaining for the CT side. Otherwise, it's very, very... There we go. There's a smoke and a Molotov on the ground. Exactly what I was asking for.
Pretty sparse util.
Grabbing it and then running in with it as well is a bit worrying. I guess he needs the Molotov for the hold on Banana. He has to use it, but still, it is a bit worrying. Dropping that utility would be incredibly important, but it kills a double. Yeah, they line up. David takes down his teammate and falls immediately after. 9Z looking a little bit uncomfortable now. It looks like they've finally been knocked off kilter. 00Nation need to exploit this. This is a very real chance for them now to come back into it. Good peek from NQZ. Catches Buddha before the smoke blooms. Trying DGT low on HP. Compromised on HP. In fact, is that a combined total of 100 HP between them? Quick maths. Yes, it is. 100 HP. 2 players alive versus 5. And they're cutting ties with the round. You hate to see it, but you really have to in this situation. 2 versus 5. Not a lot of utility. Only AKs. And 20 seconds left. Not a shot in the dark.
Not a chance at all. It feels like another timeout territory for 9Z, but the fact is they only have 1 left. They're going to have to make it count. Also, I feel like they need to completely change up their pace. It's been too methodical, too slow. You got to go give 00Nation a gut punch. Just got to go in fast, furious. Use your advantage with a weaker buy here to go for something a little more aggressive. Tech 9's around the corner. Drive by. Grab an upgrade. Swarm a site. Get that bomb down and hold. Tech 9, P250, Deagle, saved AKs. Minimal utility. So they will have to go fast here or just hold long into the game, to the round. And then try and go for it. But 00Nation have been giving opportunities to come back in here. They've been given all the opportunities. Golden opportunities. I don't know, Nate. I'm lacking confidence in 9Z to close this out.
I am too. I'm believing in 00Nation. They've woken up in a big way, NQZ specifically. Picked up for a reason. 21 kills. Looking sharp on the op. David towards middle, though, up in hand. Could unseat his former teammate. It's much more passive from 00Nation. They know what they're against. That should be a compromised buy. NQZ's going to feel the heat here. Good flash, but NQZ, he does hit those shots while blind, unlike Try.
He's done that a lot.
He has. Very well done. A little bit of luck sprinkled in for good measure. Demau now is here to support as well. Bomb quickly rotating around. I like this, actually. It's very well played, very astutely read. The AK of DGT can be the spearhead for this take. There's only one player defending. That is Lotto. And they throw that same smoke. It bounces too far back. There is a gap in the smoke, and looks like 00Nation might even exploit it, boosting up instead, looking for the planter. He'll find it. No, DGT
No.
supporting. That's a big one to find. Tied up at 4-piece, and now close range angles. NQZ through the edge of the smoke will find DGT, but still need a lot more. Will NQZ expect the jump up? Will he expect the boost? Don't think he spotted it. Pete comes in. There's the AK of David finding one. Now they know where 2/3 of this remaining hold is at. And there's no one in banana either. David, though, a second. This is really feasible now. 9Z might just make us believe. 3 players holding on the site, 2 pistols, 1 rifle. David swings off contact. Another for him. It's 3 in the round and potentially a 4th. Cold Zera just running, and he found 2. He finds all 3.
Does he have time?
Cold Zera, does he have time? No, he does not. It was a valiant attempt, but it's not enough. 16-12. 9Z finally recover. They had a very, very scary slide there. What was it? 6 rounds in a row, I think?
You think
6
so,
or
yeah.
5? And
that was 12. That's 5 rounds, I think.
5 rounds in a row. That's
Yep.
quite the sprint, but it's not close enough. As you mentioned, 8-round breadth for 9Z at that point. They'll eventually get it across the line, even if it is an aggressive play with the pistols. Very well.